The invention of food in America is a fascinating thing. Innovation is everywhere, and America is the perfect place to combine a melting pot of different chefs from different cultures, races, and species. Okay, maybe only human and rat, but he was a really good chef. However, as with most culinary creations, the exact origin can be somewhat hard to chase to a single person, though we can often trace it back to a region and time period pretty easily.
3-minute flicks. Entertaining, educating, and enlightening.
The heart attack on a bun we've become so well known for, the hamburger. The invention of the hamburger itself isn't exactly groundbreaking. It is meat between two pieces of bread, but I suppose monumental creations have to start somewhere. Let's start even further though, to the creation of the meat patty itself. Back during the days of Genghis Khan, around the early 1200s, with a busy schedule of pillaging, the Mongol army needed something they could easily eat with one hand on horseback, so they scraped together lamb and mutton into flat patties and stored them under saddles. Once it was time to eat, it would be significantly softer from all the squishing from the sitting rider atop the meat, and the soft raw patty would be consumed as a tasty wartime snack. In 1238, as the Mongol army continued their ransacking, they eventually made their way into Moscow and brought their ground meat patties along with them. Eventually, the Russians adopted this into their own cuisine and mixed it with chopped onions and raw eggs, calling the delightful salmonella treat steak tartare. The dish and variations of it became a major delicacy in Europe. Eventually, in the 1600s, the dish became served regularly in the ports of Hamburg, Germany, and with a desire to be unique, they called it tartare steak instead of steak tartare. Truly innovative. I wonder if the name of that city will come up again. A couple centuries later, in the late 1800s, sailors from New York began catching onto the dish and bringing the food into their own local restaurants. In order to attract German visitors in search of a familiar food, they began calling it Hamburg steak, as in steak cooked in the Hamburg style, or sometimes uncooked and served raw. It was really lawless back then. The problem with tracing the placement of hamburger on bread now is just the sheer amount of people that is credited to it nowadays. Between Hamburger Charlie, who served meatballs cooked in Hamburg style atop bread, or perhaps Grandpa Oscar's farm, where hamburger was first served on a bun rather than a slice of bread. Though the Library of Congress credits the creation to Louis Lasson of the Lewis's Lunch Wagon, where he used the excess beef from lunch rushes in beef sandwiches. Naturally, the creation was popping up everywhere with no real traceable origin. However, the first time that it became a huge nationwide hit was at the St. Louis 1904 World Fair, where Fletch Davis began serving crisp beef on a toasted sandwich with a slice of raw onion. The creation was massive, and the patrons of the World's Fair couldn't get enough of it, and subsequently brought it back to their hometowns to continue the ever-growing hamburger craze that, to this day, keeps on going.
3-minute flicks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We create new videos weekly.